Welcome. I'm very excited about this meeting. Teresa and I have spent some time preparing for this session. And when I saw the registrations coming in, as I said, almost 50 registrations coming in, I was very excited. And the reason why I'm so excited is because it signals to me that there is a great deal of interest in Zonta world about creating new clubs. In a moment, I will share my screen, but I'd like to also acknowledge the traditional owners, which is a custom in our country, traditional owners of the land where we meet and ask for their blessings over this meeting. And I also acknowledge the people and the lands from where you are and the First Nation people all over the world. As I said before, I'm just going to start sharing my screen in a moment, but I particularly want to welcome some of you who have not joined one of these Club Creator sessions before. This is a third in the series. Every 3 months we come together and share with you some information and also share with each other the learnings about creating a new club. So some of you who haven't joined before, very, very warm welcome. This meeting is going to be recorded, so you don't have to take too many notes. And also, if English is not your first language, you will have the benefit of listening to these recordings again and make sure that you don't miss anything. The number of districts that we have is also something that really excited me. We have 28 districts who have registered, which is phenomenal. And I must say that is something that I will definitely put in my board report when I have to prepare a report later this month for the board, because I think this is really important for the board to hear that amongst the districts that we have, there is such a great deal of interest. Now, before I'm going to share my screen, everybody can hear me. It's just wonderful to see you online, and particularly want to acknowledge Teresa, who only a few hours ago did the first of this Club Creator session. My name is Ans-Marie van Erp, and as you can see in my name, many of refer to me as Ans. Last night we had, and I say last night because it was last night for me, but we had a Club Creator session that was very well attended with 28 participants online. And it was a very productive session with lots of interaction. So I wish to also encourage you to write in the chat if you have any questions or think of any questions. We set aside an hour for this session. And for those of you who have previously participated in Club Creator sessions, warm welcome. But for those of you who have never done anything like this before as a club creator, I am particularly excited to have you online. Also, particularly because our goal is to position Zonta for the future and create clubs for Zonta. And we have done that. We are really well on track. And that is what we're going to do this morning. You can see on your screen, this is a session that we have titled Just Do It. And today you will hear several times how much emphasis we place on just do it. Teresa and I, as I said, have prepared for this session together, and I acknowledge in particular Zonta International Membership Chair, Teresa, and also Mariah Goodwin from the Membership Department of Zonta International. And I also would like to acknowledge in particular Vivian Shen, who is our regional representative and also on the membership of the membership committee. This session will be held twice. So if you want to join me again in a few hours, you're more than welcome. Please write in the chat your district, which you already perhaps have done. I just always love that. We also capture the chats, so it's always nice to see the different greetings in the different languages. Just a quick look at the agenda. As I said, we have 3 main topics that we are going to cover. We will start with announcement of some good news that we wish to share with you. Then we are going to talk about chartering of clubs, because clearly that's probably why you have joined this session, because you want to know a little bit more about how you can go about chartering a club. Then we are going to talk about strategies when you're building a club. So when you have come together, but you haven't quite got the number 15 yet, there are some strategies that you can apply in the meantime. And of course, we will have an open discussion. But as I said, we're going to start with a celebration. And I would like to acknowledge Teresa, who puts together these slides. Some of you may already have seen this one every month. We capture all that membership data and put it together in a slide, which is circulated, is posted on YouTube. And by the way, I hope that all of you online have subscribed to the Zonta Membership Wow YouTube channel, because there is a lot of good information on there. But let's just together enjoy this video clip.
I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You cut me loose. You make me win in every way. Win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner. Cause I'm the winner, yes. Cause I'm the winner, yeah. Yes, I'm the winner.
What a wonderful slide. And
I have a meeting
slides.
online.
And thank you so much again, Teresa, for putting together.
And
In a moment, you will see that some of these slides have been updated. Some of the information that we have in here is updated. So I'm just going to show you. This is where we actually have to really focus and celebrate. This is a moment that I excitedly share with you. This biennium, we have charted 6 new clubs, and I'm pleased to say that some of these districts, some of these clubs and the districts from those clubs are actually online. I would actually read them out because that's how special I feel about these. District 2, the Zonta Club of Saratoga County. In District 32, the Zonta Club of Seoul. Number 8, may I say, in Korea. And our latest RSA, the Zonta Club of Atlantico Sur, and I acknowledge Adriana, who is online tonight with us. So we will hear a little bit later on more about how they have gone about creating this club. The Zonta Club of Pintung Homeland, and particularly want to also acknowledge Vivian, who is from District 31. The Zonta Club of Kigali, New Voice, and I particularly want to acknowledge Bernie here, who has worked tirelessly to get the club in Rwanda off the ground. And of course, we also have Simone online, who has worked out to get the Zonta Club Elpland online. So I know you might be on mute, but if you can join me in acknowledging these 6 clubs who have charted, I'm very grateful for that. Now, I'm going to pause for a second here. We are going to have, at the end of May, a very special occasion. I can't say too much as yet, but what we are going to celebrate is that Zonta International is expanding. We will have 6 new countries, and I'm particularly aware that we are expanding in large parts of the world. In Africa, we have Rwanda, and Anne is working very hard on Tunisia, and Kenya and Benin are also in the club's information. And also RSA, my goodness, I am so impressed. Central and South America, we will have Nicaragua, and we of course have seen Julianne working very hard to get French Guiana off the ground. In our own footprint, Australia, New Zealand, we're working very hard to get in a club off the ground in Papua New Guinea. And of course, we also have seen in Europe some of the countries that, for example, Poland, that did not have a club anymore. They are now getting clubs in there as well. So I'm really pleased to share with you that we are expanding. And we have 6 new clubs, but in a moment we will hear that there are some more clubs actually before the end of this month. So we will see more. We have 38 clubs in formation, and of the 38, 10 of them are e-clubs and 28, of course, are in-person clubs. But again, I can't say much more than that. I just want to encourage you to, if you are in the process of chartering a club, to do that as soon as you can, so that you can be part of this special occasion as we wish to celebrate and acknowledge the clubs that have chartered this biennium. I'm now going to hand over to Teresa, who is going to introduce some important occasions that have occurred. Teresa, can I ask you to introduce this, and then I'll play the recording?
Certainly, Hans, it would be my pleasure. I'm just so excited to see all the good results and watch the jazz hands going up on the Zoom when we see your district in the ratings. That's awesome. You know, because we have so many people making clubs all around the world, we actually have a lot of people that we can hear from who can share some of their experiences. Isn't it nice when you don't have to go the road alone? I've asked a few people just to give some notes on how they formed their club and how they're working. And there's a lot of approaches. I guess it's like a snowflake. They're all different, but you're going to hear from 4 people now talk about their experiences. And I hope it's something that you can relate to. This is a 10-minute video. This is a highlight reel, if you will. And if you wish to have a longer version, there is a 26-minute version that expands, and we'll make that available to you as well. But we're all busy, so this is 10 minutes highlights. Roll them.
Teresa
Harris here to introduce to you 3 people who are making clubs in Zonta this biennium.
What a wonderful stories to listen to and to be inspired. In a moment, I will ask Teresa again to introduce concept. And we have talked about this as the ladder of success. And I'm going to share the slide with you. What do we mean with climbing the ladder of success, Teresa?
Before we go to the ladder, would you mind if I asked everybody to put one idea that they heard on that video in the chat? Just type one idea that popped out. I heard several. I'll bet you everybody heard a little something different. But just if you would indulge us, it will be helpful to know what popped out. And I want to thank the ladies that submitted recordings, Judith, Bernie, Angela, Mariana. Thank you so much. I think that they're detectives, don't you? It seems like, and these techniques that are used to put people together is very good for forming new clubs. It's essential for forming new clubs, but it's also very good for activating clubs that need a little energy and a few more members too. So while people are putting this in, yes, we all know as business people, climbing the ladder of success for women is a little different than climbing the ladder of success for men. And if you work hard and you do the right thing, that it is definitely possible to break the glass ceiling as a business person in the world. And there's also a similar ladder of success that has rungs that you will follow when you're club creating. Yes, it seems intimidating at times. Haven't we all been there? Absolutely. Haven't we all been there? But we can keep going. So, what are the rungs on the ladder of club creation success? The bottom rung is starting with the guest list. Whether it's a lady that you meet at a wedding that you have a casual conversation with, who brings 8 people to coffee. It might just be a cup of coffee standing between you and the formation of your next club. A pot of coffee, probably. And then when you've got people to invite to an event, you must make an event, put it on the calendar, and certainly the follow-up is essential. We heard all of the people mentioning in the video how they kept in touch with them. They kept it warm. They followed up. Judith had color coding. When they said yes, she put them in red, and she had distinct notes on her spreadsheet to follow up. And how wonderful to make it personal. If you hear the extended version of the video, you'll hear Bernie saying that as she got to know people and was in touch, that they confided in her personal things. You know, she was really getting to know them well. It's all about caring, right? It's all about caring in this network. The empowerment starts within the club. Dr. Sonia would tell you, any good physician assessing the patient will take numbers. And when Hans-Marie and I look at how are our clubs coming along, how is our patient, these are the points that we take a look at. Has the club creator, and you could take a screenshot of this if you want. There are many steps, but these are the milestones, so to speak. Has a guest list been formed? Has a date for the event been formed? Are there at least 5 members who have said yes? Are there at least 10 members who have said yes? Are they ready to charter with 15? And we've already seen that there are 6 clubs that have chartered already. It's very exciting. And boy, were you impressed like I was to see the Maldonado Club charter in 3 months with dedicated work? And if you notice, they had 90 people in their intro meeting. So this is a progress chart. And if you can make it large on your screen, go ahead, because I want you to find your district, your club. And if there needs to be an update to the progress, let me know in the chat. Let us know. The ones that have fuchsia, I love fuchsia. It's one of my favorite colors. But here, it's not a happiness because it means that we have not had an update on these particular clubs, and we really could use one. So if you are a member of one of the districts that are on here, please give us an update. Now, on this chart, green is go, green is good, green is already done. In the first column, of course, are districts. The second column means that you've started your guest list. Everybody should be at that point by now. And if you haven't yet, probably I don't have updates on this yet, but if you haven't, I encourage you to do it this week. Get on the internet and there's some tools coming that'll help you do it. So if we need to update your district's club, please do tell me in the chat.
And I know that I'm pretty sure Sandra will say, oh, but I'm no longer fuchsia. I already have a guest list because we just had a meeting. So if you need to update that information, yes, I can say that. So if there is an update, please put it in the chat. Or
I will send you something, Therese.
Okay, or just whichever you want to do, but somehow we need the communication to come. And this will go in the report, and this was made a few weeks ago, so chances are you have updates. I will welcome your update.
Okay, so
also, by the way, Hans-Marie, one more thing. Since this chart was made, there were also new clubs that were authorized to be created that may not yet be on this chart.
Yeah, so this is work in progress, and it really shows us from the membership committee how hard everybody is working, and that sometimes We may not necessarily have the latest, so we rely heavily on keeping us informed so that we can make sure that we can assist at any stage. We're going to have a quick look. We have mentioned some tools. I won't put up this slide too long, but again, like previous club creator sessions, when we develop tools, whether it's a PowerPoint for your event, whether it's an invitation for your event, or a schedule, an agenda for your event, you can all find them in Dropbox. So make sure that if you do need some resources, have a look at the Dropbox folder. The recordings are there, but also this particular recording will also be on YouTube. But I'm going to ask, the next slide is a really important tool which will help you to make your guest list. Teresa, did you want to explain this tool as well?
Sure. This is just a starter, a thought starter. As you become a detective, to find people that could be what we call VIPs, vaguely interested people for your club, it's always good, especially if you're in a new city. In Bernie's case, she was in Denmark making a club in Rwanda. So sometimes it's in different, and I know Anne is in the same situation with Nicaragua. Sometimes you're in different countries, but the internet brings us close together. It's always nice to have a variety of people. You can find people in government, you can find people in news, maybe some Zonta connections, the student associations. That's terrific. And this goes on. And when you put a few people in this category and a few people in that category, you've got a few people in maybe 10 categories, all of a sudden you've got a very healthy guest list. Now, will everybody say yes to your invitation? Absolutely not. That's okay. Some aren't even going to reply to you. That's okay too. We only care about the ones that do. And those are the ones that you will follow up with. So we start, it's a funnel. We start very large, and then we work the list and follow through. And the speed of this process is up to you. We have seen it take only a few months. It's 15 human beings. Believe me, there are 15 bodies, 15. I said this once to a lady who was, some of you know this because I said it before, she was a mortician. And I said, we just need 4 more bodies. And she said to me, do they need to be warm? So yes, we need 15 people who care about women's issues. I guarantee in your town, there are many of them. This will help you get your thoughts organized and give you a methodical way to proceed through the process. There's a spot to capture their email, their phone number, check mark when you call them. I'm a big fan of call, mail, call, meaning you call them first, you say, hey, I see you're an activist, or whatever the reason for your calling. And maybe you saw an article in the newspaper. People love to be recognized. And you can say, I saw this, and I think we have similar values. We want equality, get the words written out. I'm putting together a group of people who may want to be finding out more about Zonta. Can I include you on this list? And she'll say, yes, I'll be happy to receive some information. So call, mail, call. The next thing you do is you mail her the information, the invitation, and then you call to remind her about it and get the RSVP. So call, mail, call. And then keep track. Who comes to the announcement event? There's different ways to find out who came. You can do an attendance, you can do a drawing, many different ways. If it's 5 people, it's easy to figure out. If it's 50 people, sometimes it's a little more complicated. You want to know who's there. And after you make the presentation, they have 3 answers, and 3 answers only. When you say, do you want to be part of Zonta? They're going to say no, maybe, or yes. We love the yeses, but I love the maybes too, because they just need more information or some more time. A personal phone call can make all the difference in the world. And we love the no's too, because we say, is this no for now or no forever? Timing is everything. And this chart will keep you on track.
Thank you. Now, this slide here follows up beautifully after the slide that you have just mentioned, Teresa, because one of the things that we have seen already is that an event is held and we have some yeses, but we don't have the 15 yes. So the question is often, well, what do we do with those that have already said, yes, I want to join? And what we wish to offer is two strategies. And the two strategies, either you offer to join as a supporting member. We're all familiar with the membership type. Previously, it was known as individual membership, but we now refer to it as a supporting membership. And what it means is that as soon as somebody joins as a supporting member and pays their $88, it means that they are immediately connected to Zonta. So they might not necessarily be part of a club as such, but at least they are connected to Zonta. And afterwards, if you have then later on enough numbers to charter, then of course that supporting member can be transferred to a full membership of the chartered club. But we have another strategy, and that is that they can join as a club member of a sponsoring club. So there might be an existing club that they can join and they pay their fees. And once the club that they wish to join is chartered, they can transfer that. I think both strategies are really, really important, because what we don't want is somebody to come along to a couple of information sessions and then nothing happens. We just don't want to lose that momentum. And so consider these two strategies that you can apply. When we have the Q&A session, I'm going to ask a question about fees for the supporting member when they transfer to a chartered club, but we'll park that question for later on. Did you want to add anything to this slide?
It's wonderful. Thank you. When somebody says yes, we want to connect them to Zonta as quickly as possible. If it's going to be a while before you charter and you have a sponsoring club, then let her join that club temporarily or join supporting member. Always want to connect them as quickly as possible for all those benefits and many, many more. You don't want a well-meaning friend or relative to say, oh, why are you doing that? Don't join Zonta. Join blah, blah, blah. Save the whale.
No.
You know, so you want to seal the deal, as they say.
Now, this particular slide here is clearly and probably meant for the club creator. Do it now or do nothing, Teresa?
Well, you know, I love to listen to TED Talks, and I was listening to one the other day about procrastination, and they were saying that procrastination is really a coping mechanism to stress, a stress response. And sometimes we just need to get started. And if you are feeling the urge to not start, I encourage you to set your timer for 5 minutes, or maybe even 15 if you can, and just do it for 15 minutes that day, and then do it for 15 minutes the next day. Mostly, we just need to start. Once we start, beautiful things happen, and it's energizing. It's wonderful. So I like your do it now. Just do it. Yes.
But what if you're scared?
We all are from time to time. It doesn't matter. No's will not make you bleed. Don't worry about it. The no's, you know, you need to get like 5 no's before you get to 1 yes. So every time someone tells you, no, I'm not going to join your club, just say thank you, because that's going to move you closer to the yes.
Yes, we have probably already emphasized this, but it's really important that after today, after this session, you walk away with lots of ideas, feel inspired, and follow on acting now. This is our theme, isn't it? Just do it.
Very subtle.
Very subtle indeed. Do it. Now, this is my very last slide, and I love it. So I'm going to hand over again with some inspirational words from Teresa about you can change the world, girl. What do you mean by that?
Wow. Well, we all love the Zonta mission. It's close to our heart. When we add voices, we are louder, we are heard. We have been working at this for 100 years, and sometimes we're weary. But when we add new voices, it adds energy. I encourage you to spread the Zonta mission by making your club, get it off and running, and then don't smack me, but you could go to the next club, because there's no reason why we can't have many. In the olden days, we would have a group of maybe 60, 70, 80 members, 100 members in the olden days, the first century of Zonta. But now that's not the case. Now we have several smaller groups of women and men who work for the same thing. And we can carpet the world with Zonta clubs very, very easily. So when you look at your whole population of a city that you're working in, it becomes very easy to see that 15 people can be identified. And why not make it 20? Because we guarantee you that life happens, and there will be a reason why some people will not be able to stay on after 1 year. People will drop out. That happens. It's normal. So are we at question and answer time?
That's right. Right now, just want to, before I stop share, just note the date. We will have our next meeting on the 2nd of August, but I'm going to stop share now, and we will be able to follow on with some of our discussions. Okay.
Either put your hand like this in front of your camera or put the reaction up so we can see who has a question. We won't make you type it. Sandra has a question.
Yes, Anne-Marie and I were on a call tonight, and we had we're trying to get up an e-club, which is proving quite tricky across, the time zones that my district has, but I know other people have those issues as well. But we were just discussing the fact that if they are now joining or are already members, supporting members of ZI, when we transfer them, they don't need to pay the new member fee?
Happy to answer. No, they don't have to pay that fee again. So they would have paid it when they joined as a supporting member. And so it doesn't have to be paid again. And there is also no fee for transferring. So if they want to transfer from club to club or from supporting member to a club or vice versa, there's no extra fee there.
Oh, see how easy that was. Yes. So, and by the way, does everybody say you can join Zonta for $15? Say that, because that's what we should be saying. You can join Zonta for $15 and you pay an annual fee at the end of May, because our year is June through May. So make sure everybody knows that. And then, yes, it's like your first kiss. Is only one time your first kiss.
If you are having members transfer, so from club to club or from supporting member, that transfer form that we have on our website, that will make the process as smooth as possible. And we do the transfer on our end at headquarters.
Yeah.
We can change the world. I'm thinking that, first of all, the first session and this session, when I saw the people who came on, yourself included, I thought to myself, these are the powerhouses of Zonta International. You are doing.
I'll see Sheila first and then Judith. Sheila, off you go.
Hello, everyone. I have a question. In the step-by-step guide for starting a new club, in the dues and fees chart there, it shows a charter member fee of $15. And is that per member or is that per club?
That is per member. So it's the same as the new member fee. So it's it was just confusing some people that they were saying, well, this is a charter member, and they were viewing that as a little different, but it's the exact same fee, and it's an administrative fee. So that's why it's only a one-time per member.
It's not in addition to the new member fee then?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, it's same fee, different title.
Judith, what was your question?
Well, my question is about joining the new club that we're forming. And I'm wondering if I can just pay my dues directly to the new club.
If you're chartered.
If we're chartered, okay.
You can't join a club that doesn't exist.
Yes, we leave it up to timing. So if it works out, pay your dues to the chartering club, then that is just fine with us. But if it doesn't, then you can always pay your current club, and then we'll transfer you over when the time comes.
We don't have a chartering club, so
Not yet.
Yeah, chartering ourselves. So
yes.
Yeah. So
independent member, if you're not part of a club, so you can do that as an independent, and then when you charter, then you transfer and pay your club fee.
All right.
Yes, you can always transfer to supporting member and then transfer on over once the club gets chartered. That's always an option.
Yeah.
Supporting member.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because there are a couple of us in that.
Apologies,
situation.
supporting member. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you said it
okay.
right. I said it wrong. Yes. Next question. This is your chance. I was surprised we had so many questions about $15. and this is probably one more thing to mention about that, because we do hear people say this person was a Zonta member years ago and she wants to come back now. So Mariah, she stays on the books for 2 years before she falls off? 3 years.
3
So
years.
if it's been 3 years since the person was part of Zonta, she rejoins like a new person.
Yes, correct.
Mhm.
We instituted that a few years ago, just as part of data privacy laws. We want to conform to all of those in different countries. So yes, if someone has not been a member for 3 or more years, then they will need to be added back as a new member.
I see that Fabienne put in the chat that she is working on creating a new club and needs to find a new name. Now, I know that there was a club, and I'm not quite sure which club it was, that had a bit of a Facebook competition about help asking others for a new name. Does anybody online know about that, how that ended?
Governor Donna does. District 1
Donna,
did that
tell
in
us.
their e-club.
Now they are
Tell us all
thinking
about it,
about a
Donna.
name, but it's a problem. They don't know actually which name they want to choose. But probably for the next day it will be okay. And so I can contact you again. But it was a good surprise to have probably a new club in District 30.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we had to make ours a little different than the other Atlantic e-club. So we're the Northeast. And yeah, it's great with so many new clubs and needing to verify before you get your club name in there. We've got a couple more we're working on. So thank you. Good luck.
I want to brag on Donna for a minute. Governor Donna from District 1. She wanted to alert her entire district that there was going to be an e-club formed. Her board had made a decision to make an e-club. So she did it by putting the naming contest out. Submit the name. And how many people did you have submit names, and then you evaluated, and how did you have a prize? How did that go?
It was a challenge, and we had several submitted and actually needed to come up with something new out of all of that, but it did get more people involved. So it was a fun process, as you said, and I almost forgot about that, Teresa. We move on so quickly that we forget the things that we've already done. And so it's good to have these meetings to kind of remind ourselves of the process that we're all undertaking in this challenging time.
Are there any questions? Any other questions? I can see lots of lovely thank yous in the chat. We've got these the YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, this is another reminder. Hashtag Zonta membership wow on the YouTube. Is that correct, Teresa?
Yes, you just go to youtube.com. Once you're there, in the search bar, type Zonta membership wow with an exclamation point. It'll bring the page right up. You'll get a nice opening song that'll wake you right up. And once you subscribe, you don't hear the song again. So that's a motivation to subscribe. And if you tap the bell, you get notified when there's a new publication. So you don't have to keep checking back. It's on to membership. Well, I have a question. I want to know how many people on this call attended the diversity presentation last week. With a show of hands, yeah, so many things on that really related to membership, the sense of belonging. And also one of the other takeaways I'll share now for those who weren't there is that if you want to expand in a community where you are not represented, go put a table there or go attend an event in a different area. I guess I'll have to get out of our homes and offices. Did I see another raised hand?
And I saw that Adriana put in the chat that the Zonta Club of Piriápolis in Uruguay has submitted an authorization form. How exciting. So that means that soon we'll have 39 clubs information and 6 charted. What was our goal? Was it 50 new clubs charted this biennium, or what was
20.
it?
20. We're right on track. We're still looking for somebody in the state of New Mexico. That is one state in United States of America that we have no Zonta members currently. Oh, I see Kim putting a finger up. Go ahead, Kim.
West Virginia. We're working
West
on that area.
Virginia's
That's
coming
another
along,
U.S.
Connecticut,
state.
Delaware. We've identified somebody to get the ball rolling in all the states except for New Mexico. So who's with me is going to New Mexico.
I wish I was going to New Mexico, but I'm not.
To make that happen. Any other questions on Nevada? Good.
Oh yeah, Nevada. I can see Beth put that in.
I could just jump in here for a second. It's just information. One of my new members has already suggested that she would like to start a club in Manitoba, so one of the Canadian provinces where we don't have a club, and in the Yukon, way up north.
That's fantastic.
She's already got contacts there, and she's talking about this already. We haven't even got. Anyway, got to get one going. Yeah.
You know, we spend Judith, thank you for sharing that. We spend so much time talking about we empower women through service and advocacy that we have forgotten that we need membership. And without membership, what can we do? We cannot do anything. I'm so excited to see the new countries opening too, because that means that the women and girls can now take part in our scholarships and awards where they weren't eligible before because there was no club in their country. So this is important work that you're each doing. And thank you. I know Ansmarie and I and Mariah.
I can see a hand up. Thank you. Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm from District 12, and we are on the cusp of getting our charter in Wyoming. And I'm sitting here thinking about, we have some checks that we don't know what to do with them yet because we don't have the charter and we don't have the treasurer's. But I'm thinking, could I put them as a supporting member and then we transfer them in once we get the rest of the folks? Can we do that? I also have a club closing down, unfortunately, in Colorado, but 20 miles away, we're opening a new one, and some of the members left over, the closing club wants to join the new club. So until we get it chartered, we're thinking, what do we do with these people? And I'm thinking, well, maybe from what you just said, I could make him a supporting member for the next few months and then transfer over, because we were going to put him in another club, then take him out of that club. And I don't know, that sounded like a lot of work, but can that work? Does that work?
Yeah, that can work, certainly, but also why not put them in the club that's thinking they're going to disband? Maybe it'll energize them.
No.
Well, remember, it's just a group that is authorized to do Zonta business. That's all it is. And if they've got to go somewhere, they can go there if that's in your district. So if the Developing Information Club is sponsored by another club, that's always the first place you go to, especially during Add Your Voice contest. Why not put new members in that club? Even if it is temporary, it's no big deal to transfer. When Dr. Sonia was our international rep, I was impressed that she was a member of multiple clubs over her Zonta career. It's not unusual, and it gives you a rich flavor for Zonta to be part of different clubs. But if your forming club does not have a sponsoring club, as some of us don't, you're certainly part of a district. And the district treasurer can hold the funds. US, this is a bigger issue than in some countries.
We're going to go through the district treasury for it, but now I'm thinking they could be a member, if it's a supporting member, and then transfer into the club, pay the club dues, and maybe that's more simplistic than having it in kind of no man's land.
They certainly can do that. Yes, we have a lot of people do function in that way. You know, their club is disbanding, but the new club's not ready yet, and so they'll transfer to supporting membership in the interim, or join, you know, something like an e-club in the interim, and then transfer into the new club once it's chartered.
The one thing that Donna put up in there in the chat is that when members are joining as a supporting member, they don't count towards district membership. So that's certainly something worth noting.
Yes, that's true. And they won't show up on your district dashboard, but they will be connected. So the best scenario is get your club chartered. Get your club chartered swiftly. That's the best scenario. We all know that. The second best, you know, if you can't charter right away, then connect them via either another club or supporting member. That's how it goes.
No.
And there is nothing wrong with saying, hey, we're at 12 members. We need 3 more. Who can you bring with you? How many times did we hear Bernadette say on her video that she had coffee and she started with one lady, then she brought 8, and then those 8 brought guests and she had 16, and then she had, well, as you hear about the extended version, she had 23. Everybody knows somebody. So when you're inviting someone from the newspaper or a stranger, you know, invite them to come with a +1. I call it the 2-for-1 special. Everybody is more fun to join with a friend. So really, you just need 7 people with a friend. No, you need 8. Math is not my strong suit. Yeah, 8 people to join with a friend. And they all know people. So don't be and do not hesitate to ask them. I call it the owl imitation. Who do you know? Who do you know that might like to hear about? And stop trying to get stop recruiting members. That's another big important point. You are not here to recruit Zonta members. You are here to create interest in Zonta. They will recruit themselves or they won't. But all our job is to create interest in Zonta, to let them know about it. It's still a secret society in a lot of parts of the world. Even in Chicagoland, where the headquarters of the World Organization lie, I will be on the street and talk to people about Zonta. They don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So our job is to create interest.
Now, Teresa, can I ask you, because it's 11 p.m. my time, and some of the Australians probably need to get ready for, well, certainly I need to get ready for my next meeting soon. But can I ask you to take some photos?
Okay. And everyone's got their district in there. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
That's it.
One more. I got a second screen. Okay, big smiles. Make sure you're in the frame. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm glad you remembered that, Ansbury.
Yes, well, now, as I promised, this meeting is recorded, so you will get the recording, you will get the link, but also you will get the link to the tools that we have in Dropbox. And thank you so much, Teresa, for co-hosting this session. You are always an inspiration, not only to me, but also to all the club creators. And for that, we are extremely grateful. I'm also very grateful for all those members who have participated in the session, no matter where you are. I really appreciate this, taking time out of your busy schedule and giving the interest to this topic of creating a new club. So for those of you who are just about to go to bed, good night. And for those of you who are just about to start work, have a great day. And I will see you next time. Take care. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Teresa and Ann.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Anne.
Bye.
Thank you.